Hi everyone, today we're going to be doing a Latin inspired show, and I'm going to nickname each of these with a different dance. So we're going to start out with a salsa seafood appetizer, a calypso chicken, a rumba rice, and a flamenco fried ice cream. So let's get started. Okay, for the fried ice cream, we're going to use 2 quarts of premium ice cream. We're going to use 3 cups of crushed, and measure it when it's crushed, cornflakes. We're going to use 3/4 cup sugar, ½ cup of butter, 4 ounces of honey, and 2½ teaspoons of cinnamon. Okay, so we'll get started here. We're going to move over to the stove, and we're going to start by putting in our melted butter into the pan. Just make sure we get all that butter in there. And we're going to turn our temperature up to medium heat. Go. I'm going to add in our cornflakes. And we're going to stir that and toast our cornflakes. We're just going to constantly stir this. Okay, once you get your cornflakes evenly toasted, we're going to move it over here. We're going to remove the pan from heat, and we're going to mix in our sugar. Nice coating of sugar. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to spread this onto a tray and let it cool. So while that is coming to room temperature, we're going to bring out our cinnamon and our ice cream. Okay, we're going to soften our ice cream a bit. Plus I've also got ice down below to keep it from totally going too soft. But we're going to mix that. Make sure that we get our ice cream well softened for the next step, which is we're going to be mixing in our cinnamon and I think I need a bigger spatula here. Maybe not. So now I'm going to mix in some cinnamon into our vanilla ice cream. You could probably use any flavor you want. Vanilla goes the best. Just remember, if you're going to use the cinnamon, you want something that's going to taste good with cinnamon. I did see a caramel ice cream. I was tempted to pick up to put in this, but good. Let's check our flakes and see how cool they've gotten. Okay, looks like we got a nice cool temperature on the flakes. So now I'm going to clear off the space here so we can do so what we're going to do here, I'm going to actually use the glass pan and we're going to put part of the cornflakes onto the pan. Just kind of get an even layer there. And we want to make sure that we got it nice and pressed down. Make sure to cover all the holes. Now I'm going to take the ice cream and cinnamon mixture, and we're going to kind of spread that out on the pan here. Try and get it as good as possible. so that they actually stick together a little better. Mine were a little more toasted than they probably should have been. All right, so once we have the ice cream on the pan, we're going to take and cover it with the remaining cornflakes. Okay. Now, we're going to take some honey and we're just going to kind of drizzle it across the flakes. Try and get it as even as possible. All right, so now we're going to put this in the freezer for 6 hours, and then we will continue with the rest of our meal. Okay, so our appetizer today is going to be a Latin seafood cocktail. And for the Latin seafood cocktail, we're going to need tomato juice. I'm using spicy hot V8 for this. Clam juice. You can find this usually in your somewhere around your seafood counter. Ketchup, lime juice, Tabasco sauce. I mean, and again, I'm substituting the regular Tabasco sauce for the chipotle because it's got a little bit of a smoky flavor to it, so I kind of like that. Salt, onion, cilantro, avocado, crab, and you'll need 1 cup of lump crab and some baby shrimp. Okay, so what we're going to do in our bowl here, we're going to mix in the tomato juice, the clam juice, ketchup, the lime juice, the hot sauce, the salt, the onion, and the cilantro. mix that all together so it's well mixed. That really smells good. Okay, now we're going to gently stir in the avocado. The shrimp. And the lump crab. This works good as an appetizer and as a light meal, whichever you would like to use it for. But today we're going to use it for our appetizer. It looks really good. So I'm going to set those aside. I'm going to refrigerate the rest of this because we only need 2. But we'll put these aside for now in the refrigerator and get ready for our next dish. Okay, so we're about ready to start our Latin baked chicken. What you're going to need for your Latin baked chicken is you're going to need some chilies in adobo sauce. You can find this usually on in your international aisle or the Hispanic food section. Some low sodium soy sauce, lime juice, and honey. And I've actually taken this honey and just heated it up a couple of seconds in the microwave, about 30, to get it to a nice liquidy consistency so that I can use it because we're going to put it into our blender. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we're going to go ahead and put those chilies. Now the recipe actually says go ahead and do this after the first marinade. I'm not going to do it that way. I'm actually going to blend it first. The soy sauce, the lime juice, and then our honey. Okay, now that we've got that in there, and kind of go about 1, and turn it up to about 10. Okay, that should be good enough for our sauce. What we're going to do for the moment, so I'm going to spray a little olive oil on the bottom of this pan first. All right, now we're going to go ahead and put that on. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to pour this sauce over the top and kind of marinate these chicken in the sauce. Now I'm going to do something afterwards which don't freak out. We're not going to poison ourselves, but we're going to still use the sauce a little bit more, but we're going to marinate for about 10 minutes here until and then we'll take care of the sauce. We'll treat the sauce to where we can actually use it again for later basting. So we're going to set this aside for right now, and then we're going to get the recipes set up for our Mexican rice, and start that while we let this marinate for about 10 minutes. Okay, so we're going to start our Mexican rice here. We're going to need, for the Mexican rice, some olive oil, some garlic, some diced onion, basmati rice, 8 ounces of tomato sauce, some vegetable broth, a couple of items I don't have on the table yet. Corn, some peas, some salsa verde, diced bell peppers, diced carrots, chili powder, cumin, a little salt, a little pepper, some cilantro, and what's not in the recipe, but to spice it up a little bit more if you feel it's a little bit bland, I'm going to be using some red cayenne pepper. So let's go ahead and move over to our stove and we'll start the process. Okay, so what we're going to do is put the olive oil in. We're going to turn our pan to medium heat. Okay. Then we're going to add our garlic and our onion. And our bell peppers. Now, the original recipe actually didn't call for bell peppers. I like bell peppers because of the fact it kind of brings that Fiesta atmosphere to the party. And we're going to stir this until the onions get translucent. It should take about 2 to 3 minutes. Alright, so while we're waiting on our onions to become translucent, what we're going to do is we're going to take and pour out the excess amount of this sauce into the saucepan here. That should be good. I'm going to leave a little bit in there. So basically what we're doing is we've marinated, and I'm going to leave a little bit of the marinade in, and now I'm going to put this into the oven for about 10 minutes, and then we'll baste it. So let's set our timer for that. Now while that's going on, I'm going to actually turn this on to high, and we're going to actually boil the sauce. That's what I was talking about, fixing it to where you wouldn't get salmonella poisoning or anything from the sauce. So we're just going to heat our sauce back up and make it boil. We'll go ahead and cover that. And let's continue with our onions here. Not quite translucent. I'll give it a couple more minutes here. Okay, so our sauce in the back is boiling. We're going to stir that, and we're going to continue boiling that for 3 minutes. Be careful, this stuff will mace you. Okay, let that continue to boil. I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit. I'm just turning it down to about a medium-low so it doesn't boil over. Okay, it looks like our onions are getting there. So what you'll also want to do is go ahead and rinse your rice out. I've already done that to my rice. I'm going to go ahead and add the rice now. And we're going to kind of toast this rice, which should be about 2 to 3 more minutes. Now I like to use the smoky basmati rice. I like the flavor of it, so, but you can use whatever you want. All right, so it looks like our sauce is about done there. So I'm going to give it one more stir, and we're just going to turn it down to low. Let it simmer in the background while we're toasting our rice. Toasted here. I'm thinking it's about time to let's go ahead and add our tomato sauce and our vegetable broth. Okay. Okay, so our chicken is ready to come up for a little basting. What we're going to do is we're just going to baste this over the top of that chicken. Nice good coat on. Again, be careful, this sauce is really, really hot. And I don't mean heat-wise. Right. Put that back in. Give it another 10 minutes. Okay. I think we need just a little bit longer here. Give it about another minute. All right. Okay, that looks pretty good there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in the corn. The carrots. The peas. Chili. Cumin. Stir that in real quick. Okay. Add a little bit of pepper. A little bit of salt. And the last thing I'm going to add right now is I'm going to go ahead and add in the chili verde. Stir that in. I'll just scream Fiesta. Okay, we're going to bring that to a boil. While we're waiting on that to boil, we've got about 4 minutes till we bring out our chicken to baste again. Okay, it's starting to boil here. more seconds here, but I think we're about there. So I'm going to start reducing the heat because we've got our boil. I'm going to bring it down to a low temperature here. And we're going to cover it and give it about 15 minutes. Let that simmer. Okay. We'll be back in just a second as soon as the timer goes off, and we'll baste our chicken again. Alright, our chicken is about ready to get basted again. We'll bring our pan forward. And grab my again. And again, it's just go back over the chicken. Really does look good. Put it back in. And we'll go again for another 10 minutes. All right, we're back in about 10 minutes. All right, we're about ready to check that chicken again. And there we go. Okay. So this time, what we're going to do is we're going to just finish this chicken off with the rest of the glaze. So we'll be a little bit heavy-handed here. Okay. Set that back in for another 10 minutes. And looks like our rice is about ready to come off the stove. Got about 30 seconds here. I'm going to move over to the counter. So, turn off that. And we'll head on over. Okay, so go ahead and open the rice up. Oh, that looks good. Okay. We're going to add in our tomatoes. Just kind of stir those in. Okay. Looks really, really good. Okay, we're going to set that aside for now and we'll just wait on our chicken. Okay, so let's go ahead and check our chicken. It's about 2 seconds out. There we go. And we're going to check and make sure that our temperature on our chicken is 165. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. And that one's good. So yeah, our chicken's done. We're going to bring it out. Oh, that looks so good. All right. So we're going to plate up here and then, so you might as well stick around and we'll plate this. Plate. Let's take that chicken. Oh yeah, that's a nice piece of chicken. That sauce is awesome. Okay. Doesn't that just look like a fiesta on a plate? All right. Then you're going to take a little bit of the cilantro that we cut up for the rice. Cilantro. Doesn't that look good? All right. We'll place our cocktail on the side there. And I'm going to add just a fresh leaf of cilantro to the top. Maybe 2. Not too much because you've already got quite a bit in there. All right. Doesn't that look good? Okay, we're going to go ahead and set the table and get ready to eat. Okay, as you can see, we have our meal ready and we're going to go ahead and eat and then we'll come back for topping the dessert off. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Okay, let's plate up our ice cream. Oh man, this looks good. That was such a good dinner too. It was a fiesta on a plate, but what fiesta is complete until you've had your ice cream? Ooh. Ooh. Clumsy there. You may have to wait a little longer or a little less depending on your freezer. It's a little softer than I'd like, but it should be good. Get it. Okay. And I'm going to use some homemade homemade salted caramel topping for ours. Later on, I'll probably have Trevor do a little tidbit episode on just making caramel sauce and maybe fudge sauce too. But we're gonna just drizzle a little bit of this on. Doesn't need to be too much. Looks good. It's giving us a little bit of trouble, but there we go. Right. And there we go. No fried ice cream. I hope you've enjoyed our on Latin cooking. It was great to have you, and we'll see you next time. Bon appetit.